Dean Gebby. The York Knights line up with Joe Brown at fullback, AJ Towns and Brad Ward on the wings, Ollie Field and Joe Law in the centres. It's a half-back partnership, and Nichal Williams and Hato Ingano, Ronan Michael and Jack Martin starting props. Will Jubb at hooker. Second rows are Conor Bailey, Jacob Gannon and James Cunningham in at loose forward. On the interchange bench, Jack Teamby, Brendan Santi, Josh Daly and Bailey Antrobus. If needed, the 18th man is Harvey Reynolds. BBC Radio Cumbria Sport Online. We are underway here at the recreation ground. York kick-off, Haven attacking the railway end in the first half, and it's Ross Ainley, the man to fetch it forward, and he's made it to around about the 15-metre mark there as Ainley, before being taken down by a combination of three York Knights defenders. Hannigan jumps in at dummy half first of all. It's now Corgill to fetch it forward, gets his nose just through, went over the 20-metre line before playing the ball. There's the Nigerian international, Lucas Castle, the Australian, now looking to try and power through there, and he's going to be taken down exactly on the 30. More or less in midfield. Goes left now to Hugh Worthington, Welsh international, and makes 10 metres there, does Worthington, before being taken down. Whitehaven still short of halfway, comes across now to Joey Romeo, and Romeo tries to spin out to that tackle. It'll be 5 and last, exactly on halfway here for Whitehaven. Newton's going to go left into the hands of Ackroyd. Ackroyd's going to get the kick away. Looking under, that is AJ Towns. Towns collects it 10 metres out. McCarran's involved in that tackle, spins out to Howard does Towns, and it's going to be good work there from AJ Towns. Curtis Tia brings him down on his own 30.
Yeah, it's what you want there with Whitehaven. You know, they've got a good set. They made some good yards down the middle, but I was just a bit lacking defence there. AJ Towers, he did make some good yards, but there wasn't enough numbers in the tackle just to try and slow them down.
Brad Ward's coming off the wing now to take this forward. He has for the night. He's pulled down 5 metres short of halfway, maybe a couple of metres closer than that. Comes across once more now to Joe Law, and Law's going to get that. It's actually Jack Martin. Two of them with 40 on the back, 41 and 42. So Jubb now goes right. The Knights are over halfway, and Garno pops it inside to Ronan Michael. One-on-one there was Lucas Castle, and he done well to stand up to Ronan Michael. Corkill comes in and helps complete the tackle. 5 and last, 30 metres out. It's going to come left to Ingano, trying to get pressure on Whitehaven there on Ingano. Romeo, plenty of time, jumps up in the air to take it. This is the Australian. There's 3 Knights defenders there straight away. Hasn't been pushed back a step at all there, has Romeo.
Yeah, a good take there from Joey Romeo. Obviously he's steady there. He knows what to do at fullback, and you know he got himself up off the ground so that nobody could touch him, and he made a clean catch. But there'll be a lot more of these. They're going to pepper him most of the day, I would say.
Will Evans the man to play the ball now, just short of the Whitehaven 30. Curtis Tia is now the man to fetch the home side forward, pulled down 2 metres short of his own 40. Newton in there at dummy half. Owen McCarran sticks his head down now, runs forward, still a couple of metres short on the halfway now. It will be the 5 and last. Newton is going to go left into the hands of Ackroyd once more. Ackroyd had plenty of pressure put on him, but he's able to get the kick away. Be Joe Brown out the back that collects it, round about 10 metres out. He's going to make 10, 12, 13 metres before being met by a Whitehaven defender, and then makes an extra 2 or 3 metres post contact, a couple of metres short of his own 30. Ingano in there at dummy half. Looks to be, I think, Towns is coming off the wing to try and take it forward for the Knights here, and he's pulled down a couple of metres short of his own 40. Jubb in there at dummy half. Now Joe Law, I think it is Law, the man to fetch it forward, and he's got to just, he's going to be over halfway there. He's made 2, 3, 4, 5 metres post contact. Help there with Will Jubb pushing him along. Jubb in there at dummy half, finds Ingano, pops it up for Michael. Worthington, Corkill, Ainley involved, as is now James Newton as well. They're on the Whitehaven 40 are the Knights. 3.5 gone here at the recreation ground. Still remains 0-0. Cunningham gets it to Williams, who just pops it back inside then, I think, to Conor Bailey. Put down there is Bailey. 5 and last. 28 metres or so out. Jubb goes right. Looking to go down that couple of right hand side, and the winger in AJ Towers gets the ball back inside to Nichal Williams. Fantastic play down the right hand side from the Knights. Lachlan Hannigan calling for the final pass forward there from Towles to Nichal Williams. Waves away the protesters. Referee Kevin Moore just about to tick over into the 5th minute here at the recreation ground. It's Haven 0, Knights 4.
Yeah, I think a lack of concentration there from Whitehaven. I think they were maybe thinking that they were going to kick the ball to the corner as they did in the previous set, but what they did, they just squared up on the short side, and it was just a simple, more or less a 2 versus 1 in the corner, and he just passed it on the inside for the oncoming support. So it's a good score there for York, but Whitehaven need to be aware of that threat, and the concentration levels need to be a bit higher than what they are.
I was lucky enough to be invited into the changing room for Whitehaven's video review this week, and That was one thing that Carl Amos noticed, is the leg come into the tram lines, and then they're happy to play down the short side on each occasion. That's something he specifically picked out there in video this week, and the fallen victim of it in the opening 5 minutes, Pete.
Well, that's what I was saying, your concentration levels that you could have there, you just can't switch off, and especially in this league, you can't switch off for a second, otherwise it'll cost you, and on this occasion again, it has done.
Nico Williams lines up the conversion, right-footed, and misses. Does Nico Williams, of course, formerly of this parish, is the Kiwi, spent a season here back in, was it 2022? Well, Nico Williams, and when he's come over and then went to Newcastle last season, didn't really work out, obviously, with Newcastle, and then spent this season with the Knights. He's gone over for his 7th try of the season, wasn't able to knock over the extras, and remains here 0, Knights 4.
Yeah, Whitehaven just need to put a bit more pressure on the York line. Well, obviously just 2 sets each as it is, but if they can get the defence sorted here and just restrict the York Knights from getting any yardage and kick from inside their own half, that'll be a good set.
So Knights looking to fetch the ball forward from the kick-off, being wrapped up by, was it 4 Whitehaven defenders that were involved in there? I think it could have been Joe Law on that side. It's now Ronan Michael that gets up to his own 20, pretty much around centre field. He's the Irish international. Spent about a month on loan here a few seasons ago as well. I think it was been in that COVID season in 2021. But the Knights have made it to just short of their own 40. Come down the short side with Ngannou, then looks to get Ward. Ward knocks it back inside. It's going to be knocked backwards from Lachlan Hannigan. Has gone backwards, and Will Evans was the fastest man to react. Otherwise, Hato Ngannou would have been on there, and it would have been a fresh set of 6 for the Knights.
Again, they've just went down the short side again, so there was a spare man, so they're just going to hit them on the short side, so they need to be aware of that situation.
Joey Romeo's being wrapped up there by Will Jubb. Has a couple of words with Will Jubb, does Romeo's. He's getting back up, and he's involved in the next tackle as well as Jubb on Callum Shaw. Here in and around their own 40 here. Mac Walsh is the man to fetch it forward. He's met there by 3 Knights defenders, just short of the halfway line. In fact, by the time he gets up in plays, he's exactly on halfway. Centre field, goes left to Worthington. Looks to spin out to the tackle. Does the Welshman. Put down now 40 metres out from the Knights line. It's the 5 and last coming towards the middle now with Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan gets the kick away. It's going to be behind AJ Towles. He's running backwards, and he bounces. Oh, and Towles there, he's going to be wrapped up. He bounced favourably, he did for Towles. It nearly bounced over his head. Curtis Tia wraps him up. He's playing. He's 2 metres out.
I think he was looking, he was hoping that it was going to go over, but he took a wicked bounce and he came back in. And luckily for him, I mean, obviously he got the ball back in his hands, but you said the magic word before when York were there. They need to get 3 in the tackle there. Whitehaven's just being guilty of just getting 1 in the tackle and 2 in the tackle. They need to slow these guys down, because otherwise they're going to dictate the pace of the game.
Brad Ward plays the ball. Ngannou then looking to get the early kick. Mark Walsh is going to have to come back. It won't be a 40-20 if it goes dead, and Walsh has decided he's knocked that on. He left it. He's been put it in the touch. He'd probably been better leaving it there with Mac Walsh. Whether it had gone over the touchline, I'm not too sure, but he didn't seem awful too sure of what he needed to do, Mac Walsh. He decided to dive on it, and it was an easy push into touch.
That was a great kick there from Nico Williams on this short side. He more or less kicked it on the far side, the opposite touchline there. And I mean, Whitehaven's been guilty there of coughing the ball up too easy and not making York work for their ball.
So it'll be a play the ball here for the Knights. It'll be Cunningham to play it loose forward. Jubb goes right into the hands then of Jack Martin, the young prop for the Knights. Put down onto his back, 28 metres or so out. Into the 9th minute here, 4-0 to the Knights, attacking the Kells end. What goes down that short side once more, looks to get it away to Connor Bailey, did Nico Williams. Bailey's going to be wrapped up, but you've mentioned there, Pete, about getting 3 in the tackle. Only 2 once more in for the Whitehaven. And it leaves Newton all alone in there at mark, and Jubb's now able to scoot and goes 5, 6, 7 metres. He's taken down. He can only be a metre and a half, 2 metres maximum away from the line there. Come back to the middle now with Nico Williams. Williams runs it across the line before coming out the back and finding Ngannou. Comes out now to Brown. Comes out the wall to Brad Ward, and they could and should put him at the touch there. Good work from Whitehaven. Made sure that they didn't jump in, something they may have been guilty of doing in previous weeks, and they were able to knock Brad Ward over the touchline and get back for that error from Mac Walsh only a minute or so ago.
Yeah, a lot better defence. I mean, you could see them all talking. There was no room to get the ball back on the inside, and the touchline was the other defender there, and managed to push him in, and and push him over. But they're going to have to get some hard yards now, fetching the ball out there. Just watch the numbers that York get in.
So Tia now the man to fetch it forward here for Whitehaven. Doesn't make too many metres from the play of the ball. Newton in there at dummy half, and now Callum Shaw, who's coming off the wing, and it's a fantastic ball and all tackle from the prop Jack Martin, and Castle's now the man to fetch it forward, and Castle's only just going to take Whitehaven over their own 20. It'll be third tackle, only made 12 or so metres. Knight's line speed is good. Ross Ainley now the man to fetch it forward. He's going to be short still of his own 30 here. Newton in there at dummy half. Comes across then to Worthington. The Whitehaven going to look the playlist. No, Worthington's just the man to fetch it forward. It'll be the 5 and last, and they're only 33, 34 metres away from their own line. Newton's nearly caught with it at dummy half. He's going to have to get the kick away. Isn't the best. It's going to go along the floor, and Joe Brown out the back is going to be the man to pick it up, and it means the Knights will be starting this 13, 14 metres short of halfway, Pete.
Yeah, that last set was all about the York defence. They were really getting numbers in and smashing Whitehaven and controlling the ruck, and that's what you've got to do at this level. You've got to be disciplined with it. I mean, I don't think there's been a penalty gone yet,
no,
so the referee's going well. So
there'll be Brad Ward, the man to fetch it forward for the Knights, the winger. Just over halfway as he plays this. It's a 6 again. So Jubb scoots from dummy half. And the Knights are going to start this 30 metres out. On top of the moment of Mark Applegaff's side. Just ticked over into the 12th minute. Still 4-0 to the Knights here at the recreation ground. Hingano goes right into the hands now, and Nichal Williams goes across once more. Couple of pairs of hands looking to go with him, play early, and it's going to be a knock on there as AJ Towers couldn't take it, and they're going to come back look for the penalty off the ball, and that's why the Knights were maybe happy to play. Hingano looks to have been taken out. Kevin Moore comes back for it, and it looks like the Knights are going to take 2. I'll tell you what, if it was Mark Applegaff's side, I'd have been rolling on.
Well, it was just a late hit, and as I said, I mentioned about discipline there, and what you can't do here is start following through on the players. I mean, we'd a couple of times there that you cannot do that. It's written into folklore now where you cannot follow through on the play because the referee's got that in his back pocket, and he's seeing what if there's going to be any advantage from there, but the 2 fingers went right away so they could take the 2 extra, just so that they can build a bit more pressure on Whitehaven. And Whitehaven were looking a bit leggy there on that last set, but they've got to get some good ball in there. They've had no good ball down there yet.
Nichal Williams going to be lining up this penalty goal attempt around about 25 metres out, exactly straight, in line with the centre of the field. And will knock over the 2 points. Will the Kiwi? BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online. 12 and a half minutes on the clock. Haven 0, Knights 6, and while it's 2 points, Whitehaven might be slightly relieved. The Knights are going to be bringing it back down from here rather than there, Pete.
Yeah, and they're making good yards, as I said. I said about getting more numbers in the tackle. I mean, Ross Ainley's having a word with the referee there, saying about something. I don't know what it is, but it's maybe something to do with the tackle. But Whitehaven's been guilty of following through on the play.
Hannigan with the kick-off. Collected on the full by the Knights man. He'll now look at fetching it forward. Makes it to around about 22, 23 metres away from his own line. Jubb in there at dummy half. Comes across to Jack Martin in the middle. Martin put down. Newton, Worthington and Castle all involved in that tackle, and just slows it down slightly. Comes across now to Ronan Michael, the Irish international. Hannigan, Corkill and Ross Ainley all involved. Just short of their own 40 here. Comes down this short side to Ngannou. Back inside then to Law. Law gets around the tackle from Lachlan Hannigan. Ainley, Corkill involved now. Just short of halfway. Jubb in there at dummy half. Goes back to the middle with Cunningham. Cunningham dummies and takes a line on himself. Ainley and Newton involved, but making 10, 11, 12 metres on each occasion here are the Knights. Jubb goes right from dummy half. It's a 5 and last. Williams gets the kick away under the pressure from Owen McCarran. Mac Walsh is underneath it. Jumps up there. There's Mac Walsh, and he's going to be trying to be pushed into touch there. He's Walsh, but he's got enough to stay in the field of play.
Yeah, Whitehaven just need to push around the ball. I mean, as I said, they're looking very leggy on that. There's still a few lads just walking back. I think there'll be a substitution coming very soon because they're getting battered in the tackle really.
Callum Shaw now looking to fetch it forward. Ngannou hits the Callum Shaw, and it's going to be a penalty there for Whitehaven. I'll be honest, I didn't quite see what Shaw myself. Has he gone for a high tackle or maybe using? Yeah, he has gone for a high tackle. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure, but as I'll always say, referee Kevin Moore is a lot closer than we are. And Lachlan Hannigan just takes an opportunity here, a second or two before putting this ball into touch. Halifax are 4-0 up at Doncaster, Featherstone 4-0 up at home to Barrow, 12-0 up Wakefield Hard at Swinton. Will Evans takes the tap and fetches it forward, only sort of 20 metres or potentially or so on that kick. Evans makes it around about 8 or 9 metres, just over halfway here. Corkill now the man to try and fetch it forward here for Whitehaven. He's only going to make 2 or 3 metres, however, but has made 10-15 metres laterally. Coming down the short side themselves here to Whitehaven. Hannigan going to get wrapped up. Michael's involved in that. Jack Martin initially dropped off the tackle but got re-involved. Newton in there at dummy half. Going to go back towards the middle now with Lucas Castle. Out the back then to Ackroyd. Ackroyd then finds Joey Romeo. Romeo looking to step inside. Trying to get away. It was one-on-one with Nick Williams. Then a couple of Knights defenders come and get involved. Jubbed one of them. Could be Timmy's not on the field as of yet. He's Connor Bailey. Goes left and it's going to be a poor ball there. It was from Owen McCarran. Wasn't really on. Curtis T was more in line with him. He played it behind. Put his arm out to T. It hit his hand. Has come down, knock on. Scrum down, head and feet to the Knights on their own 30.
That was the first time probably Whitehaven had any good ball from there. And, it was on the 30-metre line. So York are restricting the yardage that Whitehaven's doing, and they're doing it very well. They're controlling the tackle, they're looking after it. They did a lot in the warm-up prior to that, so obviously that's coming from Mark Applegarth. He's going to control the ruck. He's Will Evans just down there with a knock to his arm, I think, something like that. But Whitehaven, it was the first chance that they had there of putting a bit of pressure on York, apart from the kick from before, but. Nothing came to light there, and it was a bit of a poor execution in the end.
Will Evans just got some strapping around his calf, just below his knee area. We scrum down head and feed to the Knights, 30 metres out. We're just about to tick over into the 17th minute here at the recreation ground. Comes into the hands of Joe Law, the centre for the Knights. It's taken down just. You can hear the call there of short side. Not sure if that comes from Whitehaven or the Knights. Jubb's in there. We're going to go back towards the middle now with Ronan Michael. Pushed off the tackle there was Newton, but Ainley and Worthington able to complete it instead. Jubb look to come down the short side now with Ngannou. Ngannou slips in the tackle and Corkill was there, as was Ross Ainley. Just over the halfway line are the Knights. Jubb back into the middle now with Cunningham. Cunningham goes across then to Jack Martin. Martin put down onto his front. Newton, Worthington and Castle all involved in that tackle. Still get a fast play the ball, however. A few pairs of hands now before then going across to Connor Bailey. Bailey's put down onto his back. It's the 5 and last. 25 metres out are the Knights. Jubb in there at dummy half. Coming back towards the middle now with Williams. Looking to play. Ngannou looking then over the top to Law. It's gone behind Law and it's got to go into field the play. Just execution probably stopped Knights going in for another 4-pointer there.
Yeah, they looked like they had the numbers, and really the Whitehaven defence didn't push over like they did before when they got the guy into touch. But as I said, they're looking a bit leggy, a bit fatigued from there. But obviously they've done a lot of work, but the body language isn't good at all either.
18 gone. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sports Online. Castle plays the ball. Mac Walsh is the man to fetch it forward. Gets his head under the tackle, does Mac Walsh. Does very well. Then made 10 metres in. He'll get the applause of the popular side, and the grandstand are like 6 again in favour of Whitehaven. Hugh Worthington now the man to fetch it forward. And the Welshman gets it just over halfway in its centre field. Newton in there at dummy half. Goes left into the hands of Lucas Castle. Castle will make around 10 metres. Whitehaven within the Knights 40 now. Newton in there, goes left into the hands of Ackroyd, comes across then to Curtis Tia. Wasn't the best pass to Tia, had to take it standing still. 35 out now, ball in the hands of Owen McCarran. McCarran will make it and spin out to that tackle there with Owen McCarran. Done well there, has the Australian. Whitehaven within 11, 12 metres now, in line with the left hand side post, attacking the railway end in this first half. Lachlan Hannigan looking to put the kick in. I don't think that was the best option there from Lachlan Hannigan, and it's going to be Joe Brown that's wrapped up. I think Whitehaven should have continued to pile the pressure on, Pete.
Yeah, I think you're right there. Just have a go at them. I mean, I think they had another tackle left in the set just to maybe thread it through, but now's the chance for them to put a bit of pressure on York by coming at them with their defence.
Couple of interchanges getting ready for the night. Jack Tamby and Brendan Santy getting ready to come onto the field. Jubb's in there at dummy half, looking to fetch the ball forward. Could it be AJ Townsend off the wing? I think that's taken that forward for the Knights. Worthington involved in the tackle, as is Lucas Castle. Jubb scoots out to dummy half. Worthington re-involved alongside James Newton to 5 and last, and Knights have only made it to their own 30. It's going to go right to Nichal Williams, trying to put plenty of pressure on with Ackroyd and McCarron. It's going to be allowed to bounce, but bounces favourably for Joey Romeo when he eventually gets there on the Whitehaven 20, and he'll make it to just over his own 30-metre line. Ronan Michael and Jack Martin leave the field to be replaced by Teamby and Santi for the Knights.
Yeah, it was a good clearing kick from Nichal Williams. I know they only made about 30 yards coming out there, but it was a good clearing kick from Nichal Williams, and there was a good chase on there. So
penalty for Whitehaven. Santi and Jubb. So Santi, who's just come onto the field, guilty of being involved in that tackle that's give the penalty away, and just going to be lying down there where the Knights defenders, and he'll give Lachlan Hannigan an opportunity to try and get Whitehaven well over halfway here. Is it going to be well over halfway? It's exactly on halfway. So Callum Shaw gets the ball from the ball boy. It wasn't the best pass, and it means just had to wait a moment or two there before Evans now takes the tap. Unless Hato Ngano's Usain Bolt, must have been offside there, but referee happy for him to get along with it because he didn't get involved in the tackle. Evans plays the ball, goes left into the middle with Castle. Teamby falls off the tackle. Another two Knights defenders to take Castle down. Newton in there at dummy half, back into the middle now with Hugh Worthington. Paddy Singleton's getting ready to come on down below us here for Whitehaven. In the next set or two, Newton goes left into the hands of Sam Ackroyd, takes it to the line and then comes across to Owen McCarron. And the Australians taken down 20 metres out to the left of the posts. Come back into the middle now with Lachlan Hannigan. Along the line and pops it up to Hugh Worthington. Santi's involved in that tackle, as is Will Jubb, and Worthington's put down 10 metres out. It's a 5 and last. Pretty much in centre field, going to have options left and right. Goes left into the hands then of Ainley, comes across, it's going to go along the floor, goes back into the hands of Mac Walsh. Walsh will try and spin out to the tackle, and he's just going to be put over the touchline. There is Mac Walsh. Well, when you've got Ross Ainley standing at first receiver on a 5 and last, tells me something they maybe didn't know it was 5 and last, Peter Smith.
Well, obviously they haven't counted the tackles from there, and that's another letdown from them. You know, you see a few of them with their arms in, you know, adrift of themselves, and they're all looking, say, you know, what happened there. I think they're maybe looking to come right instead of left, and obviously they've made a poor play, so that's down to you know, poor communication on Whitehaven's part. But you know, they're still in here, and the defence here can force an error from York.
Knights looking to fetch the ball forward now. Cunningham, I think it will be just short, or just over his own 30, I should say. Now Teamby is the man to fetch it forward, just over his own 40 here. Jubb's in there at dummy half, comes back into the middle now with Brendan Santi, the Italian international, put down onto his back there by Owen McCarron. Jubb's in there at dummy half, going to go right into the hands of Nichal Williams, who then gets the ball away, and it's going to be dropped by Connor Bailey, and he'll kick the ball forward. It's still play on, because you'll see there's an advantage here. Callum Shaw, is he going to try and come forward for it? Of course, there's no free play these days, so he's got to come back. He's going to have to come back with a scrum down. Calls it 6 again. Well, there's absolutely no advantage whatsoever. That should have come back for the scrum. Whitehaven are 10 metres worse off there, as Paddy Singleton replaces Lucas Castle. Newton lies in wait at dummy half. It's now Johnny Romeo at the make it forward, and they've only just made it now to where the scrum would have been. Whitehaven being hard done by there. Newton in there at dummy half. Now Paddy Singleton to fetch it forward, and Teamby, there was no arms involved in that tackle. He gets up and plays the ball, 15 short of halfway. Worthington now, it's the man to stick his head down and run it forward. The Welsh international, they know about his game, they've got his arm wrapped up. Into the 23rd minute, still 6-0 to the Knights, coming down the short side into the hands of Hannigan, comes across then to Rio Corkill. Ngannou took Hannigan out there without the ball. Corkill finds Hannigan once more, then comes to Joey Romeo looking to put the kick through, and then it's going to be a penalty here, and I think we're coming back for an initial penalty potentially, with Lachlan Hannigan being taken out the ball. So it was all an advantage there from referee Kevin Murray, and good play there from Whitehaven.
Yeah, it could have went either way there, but I think some of the Whitehaven guys are shouting, you know, the penalty should be.
Well, yeah, because you give another penalty away, surely it should be the penalties from where it should be.
Was kicked, but he's went for the previous penalty, isn't he? So, I mean, it's Whitehaven's turn now, just to finish on some better terms than what they did in that last set.
So Lachlan Hannigan will put the ball into touch. Hold on, the referee's put his flag up, the touch judge, and then he's moved 5 yards further forward. Hannigan now gets it across to Ross Ainley. Ainley finds it, Ross Ainley finds Singleton, who's going to be wrapped up. 22, 23 metres out, middle of the field here at Whitehaven. into the 24th minute. Ryan King's getting ready to come on down below. As Hugh Worthington is now the man to fetch it forward. Gets you off all the way into the hands of James Newton. Into the middle now with Singleton. Singleton finds Hannigan. Hannigan has to try and spin out of the tackle. Wrapped up by 3 Knights defenders. 13-14 metres out. Newton in there at dummy half. Goes left into the hands of Singleton. Then finds Ackroyd. Ackroyd shapes to dummy. Wrapped up is the loading in from the Bradford Bulls. Less than 10 metres out. Newton in there. It comes right into the hands then of Worthington. He's going to be taken down. He's the Welsh international. He's only 1 metre out. Newton in there at dummy half. Just to the left hand side of the posts. Comes right into the middle now with Hannigan. Hannigan looking for the kick over the top. If Callum Shaw can get there, it isn't the best pass. Best kick from Lachlan Hannigan, and Callum Shaw was a bit further back. Joey Romeo trying to have a word with referee Kevin Moore. He'll be out on the full as well. So it should be just to play the ball here for the Knights.
I think what he was saying, he's more or less saying that they were offside from the play of the ball. That's what he was protesting with the referee about. But really, you know, the referee hasn't. He's made a couple of poor decisions, I think, on here. But as I say, you know, it's his choice to do what he's doing. But you know, Whitehaven's got to be a bit more clinical when they're coming to the sets at the back there.
Fantastic work from Whitehaven. They've pulled Ollie Field back 10-11 metres there before he's eventually now got to get up and play the ball. And the Knights might he's nearly through there. He's not going to be Knights, and it's going to be and he's walked through and then he'd give a penalty. Well, surely the advantage is to break through. Whitehaven penalised for offside. Well, I'll tell you what, AJ Towers will feel hard done by there because he was through. Well, they'll get the penalty instead. Whitehaven pinned for offside. Ngannou puts the ball into touch, and they're going to start this from their own 40 here, are the Knights. Takes a tap, and the Knights man will make it to just short of halfway. Ainley Newton and McCannon involved in the tackle. Williams then comes out the back to Ngannou. Now finds Teamby. Jake Carter's getting ready to come on as alongside Ryan King here in the next attacking set for Whitehaven. Daly's in there at dummy half. He's fresh onto the field as well to replace Will Jubb. Santi gets you off all the way back into the hands of Daly and goes left, then goes right, does Daly. It's going to be wrapped up, taken down. Ngannou dives in at dummy half. So the former NRL man goes right into the hands now of Cunningham. Cunningham shapes the dummy, but Whitehaven don't fall for it. Newton and McCannon involved in that tackle. They're 20 metres out now are the Knights. Comes back towards Teamby. Now Ngannou back inside then to Lord, and all the players were following the ball. Lord's then the man that's going to be wrapped up, but he's less than 10 metres out now. As Newton's involved, McCannon's involved as well. 5 and last, going to go right into the hands now with Nikhil Williams. Ball back inside then to the full-back Joe Brown, and it's going to be now Owen McCallum with the intercept from Joe Brown's pass. Otherwise Knights would have been in. Good read of that there from Owen McCallum. Otherwise it was certain 4-pointer for the visitors.
Yeah, they had a few bodies running left, right and centre there, and it was some good shape from York. We're going to put them down. It was just that last pass didn't go to the other York guy to obviously finish him off, but really, you know, Whitehaven are sticking in here for this game. You know, there's nothing wrong with this offload that they can play, because it just.
And it's going to be a penalty here for Whitehaven. I think a swinging arm potentially on Sam Ackroyd. He'll now move into hooker because James Newton's left the field. When was the last time James Newton will have had a spell off the field? It would have been a good few games ago. Carter's going to go into the halves alongside Lachlan Hannigan. That partnership is reunited, and Ackroyd will go into 9 quite easily. Happy at half-back or hooker is the Bradford Bulls loanee. Worthington leaves the field, Newton leaves the field, King and Carter on. Yeah,
it's Whitehaven's chance now. Just have a go at them. They've got Jake Carter who might start and spread the ball a bit and be a top player from there, but what he's got to be doing is he's got to orchestrate his forwards and tell them where to go, where he wants his sets to finish off at.
Ross only nearly taken over the horizontal there. Calls from the popular side. Ackroyd in a dummy half, comes right to King, then comes across to Hannigan, and he's lost the ball there. There's Lachlan Hannigan. He's struggling there. He's the Whitehaven halfback, I think. He's going to be okay to get up and continue, but they knew exactly what was coming there with the Knights. Ngannou just wiped that all out.
Great pressure from the York defence. I mean, the York defence has been solid all day today. I mean, they've never really jumped out the line, and well, when they have, they've made sure of the tackle, and so they've been 100% on that.
Penalty here for the visitors. Bailey Antibus just onto the field to replace James Cunningham as well.
That's just tidiness, that, Jordan. That's just tidiness. That.
Should it be tidiness? It's Perry Singleton.
Well,
he's
yeah.
He's freshish onto the field.
But it's just the pace of the game, which way it's going.
Ngannou looks to put the ball into touch. He's going to make it up until the Whitehaven 40, and the tap will come from Joe Law. Finds Ngannou, then comes across to Antrobus, who's fresh onto the field. Just his second appearance of the season for Bailey Antrobus. They'll play the ball now. Daly in there at dummy half, coming down this left hand side with Ngannou. Ngannou gets the pass away then to Jacob Gannon. 10 metres out. Daly now goes right into the hands then of Ngannou, runs it across the line and finds Brendan Santi. Santi's just taken down. The Whitehaven defence just need to slow this player the ball down. They try to. Comes across. Hannigan. And then it's going to be a kick over the top. Brad Ward knocks it back inside for Joe Law. Fantastic play for the Knights. Absolutely fantastic. Hannigan just come out to the line there. Ngannou went round him like he wasn't there. Kick to the corner. And Brad Ward knocks it back in for Joe Law. Just his third appearance in the Knights shirt. Scores his second try in the Knights shirt. And just almost a half an hour gone here at the recreation ground. It is Haven 0, Knights 10.
That was all about Ata Hingano there on that score. I mean, he put a ball in there for Brendan Santi. He nearly got to the line, and from the resultant play of the ball, he took the ball, just showed it a bit, put the kick over to the end. The winger just patted it down for his supporting player to come in, and it was a fantastic try to score. You know, obviously, why we just need to regroup now and get some air in the lungs. And there's about 10 minutes left.
Yeah, 10 minutes till the half-time break.
Yeah, about 10 minutes left, but what they've got to be doing, they've got to be sticking in this game and keeping in there, and not letting them get any more scores before the half-time. Then they can regroup again.
We'll see if we can run through some scores from elsewhere in the Super League. Huddersfield 0, Saints 6, London 6, Leeds 6. Still Batley 0, Widnes 0, Donny 0, Halifax 4, Fev 6, Barrow 4, Swinton 0, Wakefield 22. Down into League 1, half-time, North Wales 22, Cornwall 4, Oldham 4, Workington 0, Rochdale 0, Keighley 0. Williams misses that. It's actually Oldham 10, Workington 0, Rochdale 4, Keighley 0. And Leeds lead 8-6 in the capital. Featherstone now 12-4 at home to Barrow. Wakefield 28-0 up away at Swinton. This is BBC Radio Cumbria Sports Online, however, and it now remains Haven 0, Knights 10. Nicole Williams misses his second consecutive conversion, had a penalty goal converted successfully in the middle of that. And it'll be Lachlan Hannigan who will get the game back underway around about 8.5 to the half-time break here at the recreation ground. Looking to fetch the ball forward now are the Knights from the kickoff. Met in the tackle by Singleton, Ainley, McCannon involved there as well. Daly in there at dummy half. Comes across to Antrobus. And Antrobus is going to keep his legs pumping. And he's made 5, 6, 7 metres post contact there. Has Antrobus. Daly in there at dummy half. Looking to go towards the middle now with Brendan Santi. Singleton involved in that tackle to bring Santi down, and Ainley helps him complete it. 10 short of halfway. Scoots makes 10, 12, 13, 14 metres does Daly. Comes across and Nicole Williams finds Brendan Santi. And Knights made plenty of metres in this set. It's going to be the 5 and last. 35 metres out or so from the Whitehaven line. Daly's in there at dummy half, coming left into the hands of Ngannou. Ngannou's got all day to get that kick up in the air. Short jumps and rives and collects that ball, but he's wrapped up straight away with a combination of Lowe and Ward. And he's going to play these 10 metres out. And Whitehaven are struggling there. Kinnan Singleton's not even back in the attacking line yet. Ackroyd dives in a dummy half. Carter, Ross Ainley getting in the middle of there to Mark Walsh, and he's going to be the man who picks it up. He's going to be pushed back behind the line there. And Whitehaven are at 6s, at 7s, not just in defence but attack as well there, Peter Smith.
That's the pressure that York's putting on Whitehaven there. You know, every tackle that they've done, there's 3 in the tackle, and they're controlling the ruck. I watched them beforehand in the pre-match warm-up. I mean, obviously they're working on that, and it's coming off. It's proven dividends now for York, and I can't say I'll say they're being a try scorer very, very soon as well, because the body language and the
TMB runs it hard and powerfully. Plays the ball now, 30 metres out. Daly goes right into the hands of Ngannou. Ngannou nearly could have put the ball back inside for Antrobus, but he's got out to the tackle there. Gets the offload away now into the hands of Daly. Daly's going to be the man taken down. Going to be Antrobus that's going to dive in at dummy half. 6 again in favour of the Knights, just what Whitehaven didn't want. Antrobus scoots from dummy half, and it smells like there's a try coming. You can see it coming out there. Daly comes left into the hands of Ati Ngano, comes left once more in the hands of Law, and I told you could smell a try as Law just steps back inside, and that's his back-to-back tries for Joe Law. It's back-to-back tries for the Knights. 34 gone here at the recreation ground. It's Haven 0, Knights 14.
Again, Ati Ngano, he was the main guy from there. He was just pulling all the strings and doing what he wanted. He'd get a fantastic ball for the to the left-hand side, and really he just stepped over there without more or less a finger being placed on him, and you could sense that try was coming, because you can see, I think on York's had double the amount of sets that Whitehaven had, and you can see it's taking its toll now with the Whitehaven guys. When they scored that try there, they were all looking down, and there was a few guys sitting on the floor, and it really they need some kind of spark just to lighten up this game.
14-0 down. Whitehaven, it's the third try of the afternoon for the visiting Knights. Joe Law scored 2 of them, the first one coming from the former Haven man in Nico Williams, and he'll be the man to line up the conversion here. Will the Kiwi, 22-23 metres on the straight, but 5-6 metres in from the touchline. He'll come on it right footed. He's 1 from 3 so far this afternoon. He's the New Zealander. Comes at it now right footed once more, and he was 1 from 4. That'll be a little bit concerning for Mark Applegarth if Whitehaven can maybe hit back before the half-time break, because his side should be potentially 16, 18, potentially even 20-0 in front, but find themselves only 14 here at the recreation ground.
I've never seen anything that Whitehaven's done at present. Try and put some pressure on the York line. York's been in control obviously with their defence. Their defence is absolutely spot on. But as I say, Whitehaven need to put a bit more pressure on the York line and get them down here.
Kick-off is allowed to bounce. And now Brendan Santi, the man to fetch it forward. Italian international, mitts there by Singleton, Ainley. Carty's involved there as well. Short of his own 20, McCarran was also involved. Goes right down, looking to go down that short side early on. And they've got 12, 13, 14 metres from that have the Knights. Daly's in there at dummy half. Comes across then to Connor Bailey. Hugh Worthington's getting ready to come back onto the field there in the last few minutes of this first half. Hasn't had an awful long off the field there as Worthington. Comes across now to Ngano, out the back once again, and it's nearly, to be fair, it's all Callum Shaw could do, because if he didn't, the Knights were going to be down this left hand side, and puts the it's going to be scrum down, heading feet to the Knights, and Joe Brown trying to find Brad Ward or Joe Law. Shaw had to put the knockdown, he tried to put it up in the air so he could try and collect there, but it's going to be scrummed down, heading feet to the Knights exactly on halfway.
That could have been the little changing point that we've been talking about there. He reached out and he got that ball. There was nobody in front of him. He would have scored there right from halfway line. But as I said, there was numbers coming at him left, right, and centre. So it's York's turn now to on the halfway, just to give them a bit more of a rev up.
Daly goes right from the base of the scrum and finds Nico Williams and steps up, gets past Carter, gets past Ainley. It's Hannigan and Ackroyd who were involved in the scrum that's going to complete the tackle. Daly's in there at dummy half, goes right into the hands of Antribus. And it's still in the middle. It's Ackroyd and Hannigan once more. King's in there. Peter Smith sort of saying they've got numbers on this left hand side. They're coming now. Teamby finds Ngano dummies once, dummies twice, looks to get his arm free, bounces through the legs of Teamby, finds Nico Williams. Williams escapes the grasp of Lachlan Hannigan, throws a dummy to Nico Williams, and he's over on that right hand side. It's free. York Knights tries in sort of 7.5 minutes here at the recreation ground, and we might be game done before half time. Haven 0, Knights 18.
Again, Ata Hingano and Nico Williams, they're punching holes in the Whitehaven defence, and really there's no response to them. They're a lot frustrated there. Curtis Tay just trying to kick that ball in the Kells end because of what's going on, but the defence looks splendid and shattered. But York are just doing a fantastic job on Whitehaven today. They're just controlling every facet of the game, and a try just before half time there, which was quite easy from Nico Williams, just to hand the guy off and then put it down. It'll be a better chance. Nico Williams trying to put the conversion over, but as I said, the ball is in York's court at present, and they're making good use of it.
And Nico Williams will have an opportunity to make it 20-0 to the visitors here at the recreation ground. Huddersfield 10, Saints 6 in the Super League. London 6, Leeds 12, Batley 0, Widnes 6, Doncaster 0, Halifax 4, Feversham 12, Barrow 4, Swinton 0, Wakefield 34, Crusaders 22, Cornwall 10, Oldham 22, Workington 0. Nico Williams adds his second of the afternoon, his first from a conversion of 4 tries scored here by the Knights, and takes it to Whitehaven 0, Knights 20. Final scored in League One, Rochdale 4, Keighley 6. Around about 70 seconds to the half-time hooter as we make it.
Yeah, York's had 16 sets, Whitehaven's had 7, and they've only completed 4 of them, so they're probably running around about 50%, which is poor, and at this level you cannot do that. I mean, York's made a few errors, but as I said, I keep mentioning about York's defence. York's defence is absolutely brutal. They're absolutely smashing some of the Whitehaven guys.
Lachlan Hannigan with the kick off, it'll bounce, but bounces kindly, and it's now Brendan Santi, the man to fetch it forward here for Whitehaven. Ackroyd's involved there, Evans is involved, as is Corkill, trying to push the Italian international back. Plays it sort of 18 metres out. Daly's in there at dummy half and makes 13 metres scooting there from dummy half. Does the Knights interchange hooker. Angelbus is in there at dummy half now. He's going to scoot and make 10 metres. Ainley and Ackroyd involved in that tackle. Comes left once more to Ngannou now, into the hands of Jacob Gannon. Gannon's going to be wrapped up just on halfway. Hannigan and Evans in at marker. Ngannou goes right to Daly, who gets it across then into Teamby. Teamby onto his front, will be the 5 and last. Daly's going to come left, we make it, we're only a few seconds away, and Nganou's just going to put the ball into touch. Timekeeper's hands on the hooter. That'll be our last action of the first half, I think, here at the recreation ground. There is the hooter, and it's half time here at the recreation ground. Whitehaven 0, York Knights 20. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online. It was an early try from the Knights, and look to go down that short side. The pass back inside from AJ Towell. Shouts are forward from the Whitehaven players, but nothing serious it looked like as Nico Williams put the ball down for what will be his 7th try of the season. He couldn't add the extras, could the Kiwi. He did add the conversion 2 points, the penalty 2 points. Just after into the 13th minute, those Whitehaven were pinned for offside, but then it's all been about that last 10 minutes. The Knights have hit with 3 tries, 2 of them coming from Joe Law, scored in his 2nd and 3rd in a Knight shirt, and then down for Nico Williams, who's got his 8th of the season. Could only add the last extras on the last one, could Nico Williams. Haven 0, Knights 20. Absolute mountain to climb if to get anything out of this game in the second half. They could only find themselves 20-0 down against the York City Knights. And Peter Smith, we've been mentioning off air sort of the stats you've got in front of you. York's had twice as much possession and completed about 20-30% higher. Yeah, well, as I said, as we were mentioning, Geordie, it can either go 2 ways this game. Whitehaven can make a fist of it and get stuck in and try and slow York down, or York can just snowball what they did the first half and really finish them off. But as I said, as we talked about, points difference is going to mean a bit as well. Back underway. Antrobus is the man to fetch it forward here for the Knights. There's McCarran, King, McCarran, Ackroyd and Carter involved in that toggle. Antrobus not quite happy with the efforts out of Jay Carter. He was referee Kevin Miller, and it's a penalty to the Knights that Whitehaven definitely wanted to give it away in the opening set.
No, it's not a very good start, is it?
So they've made it, a good 30 plus metres there on the kick, and it'll be AJ Towles to collect the ball. And they'll be starting these sets in the Whitehaven half, 40 metres out. Ollie Fields the man to fetch it forward here for the Knights. McCarran dives on him to complete the tackle. Daly's in there at dummy half. Goes into the middle now with Teamby. Ainley's involved. Corkill, Worthington grabs the legs there of Teamby. Just seem to be picking up exactly from where they left off in the first half. Williams with the dummy, looking for his hat-trick is the Kiwi, but he's wrapped up 10 metres out. Daly's in there at dummy half. Going to go left into the hands of Hatu Ngannou. Comes back inside then to Ollie Field. Gets around 1, gets around 2. Isn't going to get round the 3rd, which is Ross Ainley. But 5 metres out to the left hand side of the post, attacking the railway end. Into the middle now, hit with Ngannou. Comes back out with Williams. Then comes across just to Daly. So they kind of Bailey, I should say. Going to play this 5 and last, couple of metres out, and they're going to try, and Brendan Santi's going to try and power his way over the Italian international. He's got the ball down as Brendan Santi, just his 2nd try of the season for the Italian international, and the Knights have picked up exactly where they left off in the first half. It was 3 from 10 in the back end of the first half. They scored within an opening 2 minutes of the second half.
The worst possible start, giving a penalty away on the second tackle, and then from the resultant penalty, kick goes downfield. They're set up again. It was the 2 half-backs that they've ripped holes in the Whitehaven defence today. It was Nico Williams and Hatu Ngannou and really Brendan Santi. It was just hard work, hard endeavour, just going there and diving for the line, and left 3 Whitehaven lads hanging around him. But again, that's probably the worst possible start that Whitehaven can make.
Surely you imagine the call would have come from Kyle Aymore, Scott McAvoy and David Seeds, who were back down helping Kyle Aymore out, that you can't concede early doors. We were speaking off air that this game can't afford to run away from Whitehaven, especially with the points difference. They need to try and stay in the contest. And I tell you what, the conversion effort wasn't the best from Nico Williams, but it's only just gone over, and it now means it's Haven 0, Knights 26, and Whitehaven probably you can't afford the Knights to score too many more points this afternoon.
No, they're looking down the barrel of the gun, aren't they? I mean, really, that was a real hideous conversion from Nico Williams, but as I say, it went over and the all count from there. But them 2 points, it could be the difference, like it was the other season, wasn't it, when it was down here.
Hannigan with the kick-off, collected on the full, and the Knights man will fetch it forward to around about 13-14 metres out. Daly's in there at dummy half, looking to come down that short side, something we know Kyle Aymore picked up on through the week. But Carter, Ackroyd and McCarran all involved in that tackle. Santi now the latest try and score, looking to fetch the ball further forward. King Ainley involved in the tackle alongside Hugh Worthington. 32 metres out from their own line. Andrew Bus now the man to fetch it forward. Calls of a forward pass from the popular side. I don't think it was, but he's made 12-13 metres there. Daly's in there at dummy half, looks to scoot, then comes back inside, and he makes it over halfway here. Could get his arm free, doesn't do. It's going to be the 5 and last. Worthington and Ainley involved in that tackle. Hingano dives in a dummy half on the 5 and last. Charge down from McCarran, and then it's going to be knocked forward by Nico Williams. We know Owen McCarran's got that in his game. He done that to Whitehaven's get a 4-pointer last week, but it's just going to be a turnover ball here for Haven for the knock on the last tackle.
Yeah, it was better work from there. He did well, putting a bit of pressure on the kicker, and that's what you want with the attacking kicks. You want to put them where you need to be, but to counteract that, what you're going to do is put some pressure on, and it was good pressure from the Whitehaven defender who got a charge down there and made York sort of give a penalty away. Give his scrum away.
So it's scrum down, heading feet to Whitehaven, and Dean Gebby's out there on the field now to replace Callum Shaw, and Gebby takes it over the halfway line there. Ackroyd's in a dummy half, goes right into the hands of McCarran, unless Andrew Buss is like Usain Bolt, had to be offside because the play of the ball definitely wasn't that slow. Ackroyd once again in there at dummy half, comes down this short side with Curtis Tier, and Nico Williams, his head flew back in that tackle, but he's okay there. He's the Kiwi. Ackroyd once more in a dummy half, goes right to Carter, pop-up pass to Ryan King, who meets Andrew Buss, trying to get his arm free, is the Italian international. 30 metres out. Ackroyd comes down this short side. Carter looking to put the kick over the top. Matt Walsh is on the chase. Knights are having to get back and have to knock it dead. It was a combination of Joe Brown and AJ Towles. I think it'd have been Towles who got the last touch, and it's going to be a goal line drop out forced by Whitehaven.
Yeah, that's better from Whitehaven to put an attacking kick in there from Jake Carter, and they just had to knock it out. But as I said, they've been steady all day as York with the defence. I mean, Ryan King's normally one for throwing somebody off, and for throwing somebody off and and moving on and getting another 5 or 6 yards and that, but on this occasion, a few times today there's always been 3 just to stop him. So that's what Mark Applegarth have been working on, and seeing the strength of Ryan King.
Worthington fetches it forward from the goal line dropout, makes it to just over the Knights 30. Ross Ainley's now the man to fetch it forward, hand up in the air with the hand off. He's wrapped up just short of the Knights 20, in line with the left hand side post, attacking the Kells end in this second half. Hugh Worthington is now the man to bring it forward. Santi, Teamby and Daly all involved with that, but he does well, does Worthington. Ackroyd's in a dummy half, goes right into the hands of Hannigan, comes across then to Will Evans, and Evans is trying to get his head through, and it's actually lost forward there by Will Evans, and he's saying it's been ripped there as Will Evans, but he's not going to get his wish up. He's scrum down, heading free to the Knights.
Yeah, again, the Whitehaven took the foot off the gas there, and they've just come up with an error close to there. It was the first chance, to maybe get some points on the board, but Will Evans, his hands just fell off there on that occasion. But you know, it's a bit more promising. They've put a bit more effort in from there, so, you know, let's just see.
So the Knights will have a scrum down, heading free, sort of 10 metres out from their own line, defending the Kells end in the second half, attacking the Railway end, and the Knights will fetch it forward. And the Knights man's wrapped up, sort of 15 metres away from his own line. Daly's in there at dummy half, coming back towards the middle with AJ Towers. Daly once more in there at dummy half, cause of a knock on. But referee Kevin Murray happy with what he saw, as Antrobus is now the man to fetch it forward for the Knights. 33 metres away from their own line. Nico Williams gets it on once more. Offload into the hands of Daly, who then finds Ngannou straight away. Ngannou goes round one and round two. He's not going to get around a third, however, the ball goes back and he comes back off the hand of a Whitehaven man there. I think they might get away with this here with Whitehaven, because he's not going to give a fresh set of 6. Ackroyd and Worthington involved in that tackle. The Knights on halfway now. Teamby is the man to fetch it forward. McCarran involved in that tackle was Ross Ainley, but they just had to wait for Teamby. It's a 5 and last, goes left into the hands of Ngannou. Ngannou's going to get it back. Papua New Guinean rises the highest to Dean Gebby, trying to get it through there, but he's surrounded by 3 Knights defenders straight away. And fair to Dean Gebby, it's going to be a penalty here for Whitehaven. It's called high on the Papua New Guinean.
You know, just looking at Ross Ainley there, I mean, obviously he hasn't had a break yet, and he looks like he's out on his feet from there. But you know, he's put a lot of effort in that middle. But as I say, he's looking like he needs a change.
Well, we mentioned last week he'd done an hour. He's what we're just about to tick over into the 50th minute here at the recreation ground, so it's huge efforts from the former Kells man. Whitehaven's penalty has gone to halfway, got a stoppage in play, not too sure why. There's 2 balls on the pitch. Ardo Ngannou takes all the time he wants just to hand it directly into the ball boy's hand, which, you know, you can't blame him for doing. Referee's not going to tell him to stop it.
There's nothing wrong with that, is there? He's just being polite. But as I say, he's fired the crowd up for that.
He certainly did. Corkill is the man that's going to be wrapped up on the first tackle. Ross Ainley's now the man to fetch it forward, looking to still power his side forward. His first spell is 50 minutes so and counting. 6 again in favour of Whitehaven. King gets it across then to Owen McCarran. McCarran nearly through there, but he's going to be wrapped up. Popular side not happy with what they're seeing in terms of the Knights' defence. Ackroyd's in there at dummy half, goes right into the hands then of King. Goes across now to Hannigan, who finds Rio Corkill. And Whitehaven have a penalty here. Ryan King stays down, and it's the moment the penalty gets up, the whistle blows, he gets up, and you can't blame him. Players know if they stay down, they're going to get a penalty. However much you don't want to see it, Ryan King knows he was hit late there. If I stay down, referee's going to blow the whistle. I'm going to get a fresh set of 6 on my side.
Well, that's what happened in the first half as well, you know. And you've got to realise now, you just can't come with any late shots or any shots to the head, because you know, that's which way the game is going now.
Yeah, Dale Ferguson sent off last week for the tackle on Callum Short. And Ngannou haven't been having a word with. I think he's just been pulled out as the captain, not too much else for Hato Ngannou. As James Cunningham getting ready to come on back on down below us, as is Jack Martin for the Knights. Ryan King's having a word now with Kevin Moore as well.
Probably be Santi and Antrobus will come off, because I thought Antrobus has took some real tough balls in there today, and he's made a lot of yards.
Whitehaven elect to take the tap. Ainley's the man to fetch it forward and gets to within 18 metres out here of the York line. Ackroyd in at dummy half, back towards the middle now with King, who comes across to Hugh Worthing. Hugh Worthing trying to get round. He's just going to be pulled down short by Joe Brown. 3-4 metres out. Ackroyd's in there at dummy half. 6 again. Looking to go himself was Ackroyd. Best spell of possession and territory Whitehaven have had throughout the entire match so far. Carter in there at dummy half, goes right to King, comes back then to Ross Ainley. Ainley's put down onto his back, 9 metres out in line with the left hand side post. Ackroyd's in there at dummy half, goes right to King. King looks to come back against the grain. The Knights defence had stepped up fast enough. Plays the ball, goes right once more into the hands of Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan looking to put the kick in, and it's fallen in the favour of the Knights there, and the Knights defence just far too strong and far too fast, and it's going to be a penalty here for the Knights.
Well, that kick was just in hope by Lachlan Hannigan, and that's what pressure does. It can make you do you know, silly things. I'm not saying silly things, but it make you do different things than what they were doing. And really, that was the first time I saw the York line get spooked today. Just on the left-hand side when New Worthington broke through. But apart from that, they come out with a poor finish there again.
Jack Teamby's the man to leave the field alongside Bailey Antrobus. And the Knights now fetching it forward. Jack Martin, the man to take the Knights over halfway. King's involved, as is Rio Corkle in that tackle. Daly's in there at dummy half, comes right into the hands of Cunningham, who offloads to Santi. Santi then goes down under the tackle of Ryan King. Hugh Worthington involved there as well. Into the middle now with Ngannou. Ngannou out the line and out the back to Williams. Back inside then to Connor Bailey, who spills it forward. There's Connor Bailey, and it'll be scrummed down, head and feet to Whitehaven, around about 30 metres out. Again,
just have a look, George, at all the Whitehaven guys. I mean, obviously they're putting some effort in from there, and they're in serious danger. Some of these guys are because of the pressure that York's putting on them.
So Sam McBride is the man to leave the field. James Newton back out there. Ross Ainley's still out there. Only 2 interchanges left of Whitehaven, and Ross Ainley's done 53 minutes. Huge spell from the former Kells man. Newton goes right into the hands of Dean Gebbing, trying to find a gap. He's the Papua New Guinean, trying to get his arm free there as well. There's no one really in support. I think he's been utilised in a slightly different role as the Papua New Guinean. Not happy with what he's been seeing around him. Left, right, and the York defenders are all offside. They're not square. Take your pick. Kevin Moore still hasn't picked anything, and then it's 6 again. He's I don't want to say, but he's in danger of losing this game. Is Kevin Moore. Comes back into the middle now with Mac Walsh. Daly put down. Santi involved in the tackle, as is Jack Martin. Newton in there at dummy half. Comes left to Hugh Worthington. It's just getting a little feisty and a little bit more aggressive out there than it has done in the previous sort of 54 minutes. Newton in there at dummy half. Comes down this left hand side now with Romeo. Oh, McCann nearly away. Knock on left, right, centre. Take where you pick it to knock on Whitehaven. Scrum down, head and feed Knights.
The difference again is York's defence. They're putting a lot of pressure on Whitehaven when they've got the ball, and they're forcing them to do things that they normally wouldn't do. But you're getting Nick Al Williams running off there, putting a big shot on Hugh Worthington. They're getting 3 in the tackle every time, and that's what's been the difference today. The defensive qualities from York.
Haven 0, York 26, Batley 2, Widnes 6, Doncaster 0, Halifax 10, Featherstone 24, Barrow 4, Swinton 0, Wakefield 38. Brad Ward fetches it forward from the scrum. Gebby and Hannigan involved in that tackle. It's a slow play of the ball. Ngano's in there at dummy half. Comes across to Connor Bailey, being pushed back. Worthington's involved. So it's Jack Martin that's actually the Knights attacker. Newton, Worthington and Ainley all involved. Fields now the man to look at fetching it forward. Ollie Field, the Knights centre. Daly in there, comes back into the middle now with Santi. Santi runs away from his international teammate Ryan King. You could see Ryan King having a little smirk there when he said, "You've run away from me." But Daly scoots from dummy half, makes 10, 11, 12 metres before being taken down. He's lost the ball there. He's hit the ground as Josh Daly. He'll see it's been ribbed. He's asking telling referee Kevin Moore it's been ribbed. But referee Kevin Moore says, "No, you've just plain lost the ball." Scrum down, head and feet to Whitehaven, 40 metres out from their own line. Lucas Castle getting ready to come on down below us. Surely got to be for Ross Ainley.
Yeah, it was a better set from Whitehaven defensively wise. I mean, they managed to get 3 in on a couple of occasions, but the difference with York get 3 in on every tackle rather than 2 or 3 times. I mean, and that's why they've controlled this game.
Scruffy scrum. And yet again, unless Hato Ngano's Usain Bolt, had to be offside from that scrum, and he is called offside at the scrum. So the cheers of the Whitehaven players, and he is Ross Ainley leaving the field. Another huge stint, 50 into the 56th minute it is. 60 minutes last week, 56 minutes, pat on the back for Ross Ainley.
Yeah, you've got to look at the opposition from last week. I mean, Ross was playing that, obviously been a bit of a slow game, but the discipline from York on this occasion, and Ross has put a massive stint in there.
So Rio Corkle's the man to take it forward from the penalty. Whitehaven within 20 metres of the York line. Into the middle now with King. Goes right into the hands of Lucas Castle. Castle's going to be picked up and put down onto his back. Sort of 12 metres out in line with the right hand side post. Newton in there at dummy half goes right into the hands of Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan seems to be short of numbers on that side, but he's pulled down just short himself is the Australian. 3 or 4 metres out. Comes back towards the middle now with King, who then finds Carter, finds Owen McCarron. McCarron trying to get through, but just seems a little bit slow from Whitehaven compared to what we've seen from the visitors. Newton in there at dummy half. Towards the middle now with Hugh Worthington, still looking for his first try in a Whitehaven shirt. He's the Welsh international. He's pulled down, however. It's the 5 and last. Newton back in towards the middle with King. Isn't the best pass, gets it away for Hannigan. Hannigan puts the kick in towards the corner, knocked backwards. And it's going to be a goal line dropout force there, but more through it. It's the fantastic endeavours of Ryan King to ensure that player didn't die.
Yeah, it was better from Whitehaven. I mean, obviously they've forced a goal line dropout now, so it's their turn now to put a bit of pressure on. But they've got to keep it on. They've got to be running in more numbers than what they are. Obviously, they're just being lambs to the slaughter there with the York defence.
Just about to tick over into the 58th minute here at the recreation ground. Goal line dropout comes. Jay Carter collects it. Now comes across then to Hugh Worthington. And Worthington just sort of waiting for the contact there. Cunningham, Williams, all involved in that tackle. Newton goes right, finds Lucas Castle. Santi Cunningham involved as well as he's Jack Martin. 22, 23 metres out in its centre field here. Newton goes right, the options were on the left, finds Worthington. Worthington trying to get his arm through, but taken down, he's the Welshman. Newton back towards the middle now with King. King then changes it against the grain. Goes right with Lachlan Hannigan. And it's going to be Hatto Wingano that's away there. And it's only Dean Gebby, the Papua New Guinean, that slows him down. That play was read like a book there from Hatto Wingano. He knew exactly what was coming. Even before I think the Whitehaven players did, Pete.
Oh, well, I think really if he didn't get clipped by his ankles there, I think he would have went by. But I think his wingers and his centres were just on his left-hand side. And that could have been another nail in the Whitehaven coffin.
Will Judd back out there for the Knights to replace Josh Daly.
Just look at the numbers that Whitehaven's getting injured. Just watch this next set.
So Jack Martin, the man to fetch it forward now. McCarron, that ball's lost. Is it stripped? To play on. Jay Carter collects it. So lost in that tackle. And it'll be Jay Carter who is brought down on halfway. And there'll be a fresh set of 6. This will be 0 tackle. Newton in there at dummy half. Curtis Tia is now the man to fetch it forward. Nearly loses it there to Tia before the contact, but able to keep hold. Newton in the dummy half now. Joey Romeo, who'll try and help his side forward, but running more laterally than forward there is the Australian. 38 metres or so out. Newton goes right into the hands of Hannigan. Hannigan then finds Will Evans. Welsh international's going to be wrapped up. He's struggling there, he's Will Evans. Calls of a potential crusher, but he's still struggling. He's the Welsh international. He's going to have to stop the play because he can't get up. Just about to tick over into the 60th minute. And it wouldn't surprise me now, because he stopped the play, that you see a penalty given, which is crazy because he was never thinking about giving a penalty before he had to stop the play, Pete.
No. As I say, he's being a bit indifferent, but I mean, everybody has an off day. And obviously, York's been at the forefront of this game, though. I mean, I keep mentioning about the defence and the discipline, which has been good. Obviously, Mark Applegarth came in and he's put a few things down there, and the line speeds, it's very, very quick.
So he's going to have
tackle
a word.
Defence.
He maybe put something on report. He's pulling Jim, yeah, he's going to put it on report. But you were never going to think about putting it on report anyways, and that's what frustrates fans. If he didn't stop the game, that doesn't go on report. Which, if you think you've seen something, stop it. I haven't saying let's have the match review. That's what I mean. That's what's going to wind fans up, because he was telling him to get up and play the ball was Kevin Moore. But he was never going to put that. He was never going to put it on report unless Will Evans had stayed down.
He's the referee, and he's the closest thing.
He's the closest person to it. The cameras. I know it's got to zoom in, but it's 50, 60 metres away.
It's just a bit of a cop out, really.
Dean Gebby scoots from dummy half. He scores out to one and then floors the dummy. Does the Papua New Guinean. Newton in there at dummy half. 20 metres out. Penalty. Incorrect play of the ball. Penalty for Whitehaven. Well, is that justice? Because I seen absolutely nothing wrong with that tackle. Absolutely nothing. And he's maybe realised, I should have given a penalty 2 minutes ago. But it's now Lucas Castle, because Whitehaven take the tap. 10 metres out. Newton in there at dummy half. Goes left into the hands of King. Out the back to Carter. Carter has to keep hold of it. The options were a bit slow in getting there to try and help him out in support for Jake Carter. Newton in there at dummy half. Just about to tick over 2 hour gone. King comes across then to Lucas Castle. The Australian will try and power his way over from short range. Ryan King shouting at referee Kevin Weir. Newton in there at dummy half, goes right into the hands of Hannigan, and Hato Ngano had to be 3 or 4 yards offside. It was practically in the Whitehaven attacking line, for God's sake. Newton goes right and finds Carter, gets it across to Evans. But that he's a magician, he's Hato Ngano. Oh, I know he's got magic in his game, but it's a 5 and last. Kevy's going to look to try go down the short side, put the kick in, and he's going to have to be just knocked dead. Thought he'd come up with a little bit of magic himself there at the Papua New Guinean, but he was just knocked dead before he put the ball down.
You know, it would have been better coming to the open side. I mean, I think he had about 1.5 yards to play with there. Fair enough, he managed to get the kick away and put it there for the oncoming drop out. But as I say, it would have been better for Dean Gebby just to hit that ball on the open side and just maybe finish it off.
Force the goal line drop out though of Whitehaven, and it'll come now. And Carter, so got a little bit of more backspin on that one. She's collecting that up 32 metres out rather than sort of 40 or so as you had done with the previous two. Worthington's the man to fetch it forward. He's getting dragged towards the touchline there, this Hugh Worthington. Fantastic, I repeat, fantastic work from the York Knights. AJ Towles is just getting involved with Hugh Worthington there. Mac Walsh is trying to keep him away, but fantastic defence in numbers, Pete, from the York Knights.
Yeah, it's been the same all day. I mean, they've controlled every facet of the play of the balls. I mean, from the line speed to the tackle control to, you know, doing what they've done. And as I said, I've mentioned before that they've given Whitehaven a masterclass in defence.
So it'll be the Knights to play the ball, of course. No scrum down these days. Cunningham will play it 33, 34 metres out. Jubb, who goes left to Zanti. Gets the offload away. Back into the hands now with Jack Martin. Martin's going to be the man that's pulled down now over halfway. Jubb into the middle with Cunningham. Now finds Ngano. Comes across to Gannon. Gannon trying to get away from the Whitehaven defence, but Will Evans wraps him up one-on-one, so congratulations to him. Into the 63rd minute. Haven 0, Knights 26. Ngano now with ball in hand and nearly through there. But he's pulled down 20 metres out. Jubb. Not the best ball, as Newton had put the pressure on from dummy half. Bounces into the hands of Jack Martin. And Martin is going to be put down over there. Calls of going over the horizontal with Ryan King involved, but refereed it to 6 again, however. Nico Williams is now the man. Gets it back inside to Connor Bailey. And he'll be taken down. 3 or 4 metres out. Jubb in there at dummy half. Offers it up once more to Jack Martin. Martin's pushed back 3 or 4 metres there, just giving the Knights probably a bit more space to work in. Jubb in there at dummy half. When I look to go left into the hands of Nico Williams, out the back then to Ngano, and it's going to be knock on. It's come off the hands of Lachlan Hannigan. Offside, accidental offside, knock on, call what you will, but it's going to be the Knights ball anyways.
Yeah, it's going to be the Knights ball, and again, you know, the two half backs are just pulling all the strings. They were just maybe about half a yard away from getting their other try from there, but he's given it to Whitehaven there on that occasion. Well, I thought he came off a Whitehaven.
Yeah, I thought it come off Lachlan Hannigan, who then went into the hands of Will Evans, in which case it could have been and should have been accidental offside. But as we'll always say, Pete, referee Kevin Weir is a lot closer than we are.
Yeah, you heard the calls from the crowd even. I mean, everybody was a bit of gasp that the ball's gone to Whitehaven. So
yeah, so was Lachlan Hannigan. He was back in the defensive line. Eventually scrum's fed, held at the back. And the Knights line speed's great once again. Matt Walsh is only going to make 2 or 3 metres from that scrum. Newton in there at dummy half into the 65th minute. 15 minutes to go here at the recreation ground. Curtis T is going to be the man to look, try and fetch that ball forward. He's in danger of nearly being put in touch there. He's Curtis T. Now comes to Owen McCarran. McCarran trying to find a gap, but he's not going to find one there. Now McCarran's then looking to put him into touch. Try and get a quick play of the ball. Newton in there, the dummy half, goes right, finds Jake Carter. Carter running across the line, out the back now to Lachlan Hannigan. Read once again by Lachlan Hannigan. By Hato Ngano and Lachlan Hannigan. It's like he's got a radar on Lachlan Hannigan has had to win Garno this afternoon 3 or 4 times. He's got that offload away from Lucas Castle. Lucas, Rio Corkill's lucky with that one, with the offload. It was nearly intercepted, but Will Evans is pulled down. It's on the 5 and last, just short of halfway, into the hands of Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan will get the kick away, and it's going to be allowed to roll along the floor. Joe Brown collects it on the bounce, and it'll be wrapped up by Lachlan Hannigan. McCarran helps him complete the tackle as well.
Yeah, this is the chance now for Wyvern to exert a bit more pressure on York, but as I say, they'll look very leggy. They look very tired, obviously, for the amount of tackling they've had to do because of probably the first half in the sets, and obviously most of these. But York haven't been too clever this side with the ball this half. But as I say, all the hard work and all the toil's been done in the first half.
The Knights have made it to just over halfway. Brad Ward is the man to play the ball. Hannigan and Corker were involved in the tackle. Santi now comes across then to Connor Bailey. Bailey gets the offload away at the jub. Now fans in Garno, and Garno's trying to step back inside. Corkill gets there. Hannigan gets there. Nearly got away, does get the offload away, still does have to win Garno. Now finds Joe Law. Law steps down one, back inside to Will Jubb, and that could be and should be a high tackle on Will Jubb, and he's going to give it eventually. His referee Kevin Moore caught him high just over the top, and Paul Cook says straight away, don't even think about going for the 2, just carry on putting the pressure on.
Yeah, you've got to roll it here now and chance the arm a bit more. Obviously they've seen the tiredness that Whitehaven is, but again, Hingano, he's got 2 and 3 people hanging off him, and he manages to get the offload, and that second phase comes. So
Ross Ainley's had less than 10 minutes off. He's getting put back on, Pete.
He's earning his
coin today, isn't he? Let's say that. It's Knights have elected to go for 2, despite the better calls of Paul Cook. It doesn't really make any massive difference. I'd have been inclined to keep piling the pressure on and try and get 4, Pete.
Well, there's only been one try this half, hasn't there? So, obviously they're just going to put, just obviously going to take a minute out the game, and obviously they're going to get the ball back. So, a bit of a no-brainer really, but they could have went for the try and maybe forced something else. But as I said, they haven't been that clever with the ball this half. They've had 7 sets and they've only completed 2 of them that I've got.
Ryan King leaves the field to be replaced by Ross Ainley. Like I say, Ross Ainley is definitely earning his coin as a middle out there this afternoon. It is now Whitehaven 0, York Knights 28. BBC Radio, Cumbria Sport Online. We make it 12.5 minutes to the full-time hooter. Batley 2, Widnes 6. Batley 2, Widnes 12, Doncaster 6, Halifax 10, Featherstone 30, Barrow 14, Swinton 0, Wakefield 44. Clock stopped. Finished North Wales Crusaders 40, Cornwall 10 on Carl Forster's last ever professional game, so congratulations to him. Oldham 44, Workington 0. Oldham will lift the league leaders this afternoon. Rochdale 26, Keighley 12. Game back underway, and the Knights will fetch the ball forward. Being pushed back in defence is the Knights man. Worthington involved in that tackle, as was Carter, McCann, Newton in there as well. Jubb in a dummy half, comes across into the middle with Brendan Santi. Former Keighley man. Goes left into the hands of Cunningham, who gets it out to then Jacob Gannon, and Gannon's trying to push through on Hannigan and Williams, but the 2 Australians combined to take him down. Nearly lost it there, Gannon, but able to regather before playing the ball. Hingano's then nearly poked his head through again, but gets the offload away. What you'd give for a Hato Hingano on form, Hato Hingano in your team, eh? Will Jubb's put down. Combination of Evans and Newton. Comes across to Hingano, who then just gets it away to Nico Williams, who runs across the line. Out the back then to Joe Brown. Brown steps up. Carter and McCann complete the tackle. It's the 5 and last. They're 35 metres out here. Bailey dives in at dummy half, looking to come down the right hand side. Nico Williams. It's going to be the best kick in the world, right into the sort of legs, groin region of Curtis Tier, who done well to keep hold of that.
Yeah, he did well with there. I mean, obviously they haven't been that clever with the ball this half as York. I have mentioned about the defensive things several times, but as I say, they haven't been that clever with the ball this half, and these are maybe a couple of points that Mark Applegarth might take into next week's game.
It's going to be a penalty here for Whitehaven, slowing the play of the ball down to Dean Gebby. And the Knights, I don't think Mark Applegarth will be happiest with the second half performance he's seen from his side, and it's going to be Jake Carter look to put the ball into the touch. 10.5 to the full-time hooter as we make it here at the recreation ground. And it will be eventually when the ball boy wakes up. Matt Walsh to collect the ball and put it inside to Curtis Tier. He'll take the tap, gets right into the hands of Owen McCarran. McCarran put down onto his back. 16, 17 metres out as the sun's starting to make an appearance here at the recreation ground. Goes right into the hands of Ross Ainley. Exactly 10 minutes to go as we make it. Newton in there at dummy half. Goes left into the hands of Carter. Carter looking to put the kick in, and it's given an opportunity for Holyfield to break away. He's on the break, he's Holyfield. Hannigan's back. Walsh is trying to get back and wraps him up there. Frustration, I think, Pete, with the decisions Whitehaven's making out there in attack at the moment.
Yeah, third tackle from Jake Carter put that ball in, and really you're thinking, you know, where's the oncoming attackers coming from, and really it's just cost them about 40-50 yards.
AJ Towles now with ball in hand. McCarran and Castle involved in the tackle. They're within 28 metres out. Jubb in there at dummy half. Goes left to Ronan Michael, just fresh back onto the field to replace Brendan Santee. Centre field. Jubb goes left into the hands end of Williams. Now fans in Garno. Comes out then to Joe Law searching for his hat-trick. He's going to be wrapped up 9 metres out. It's a 5 and last. Coming back now towards the middle within Garno. In Garno, nearly wrapped up with the ball there. Finds Jack Martin. Martin's going to put the kick in instead. All Matt Walsh had to do was let it go. It was going dead. Tried to get his arm to it to fetch it out. And Jack Martin gets down for his first York Knights try on just his his second appearance of the season for the Knights. 8.5 to go to half time. Haven 0, Knights 30.
Yeah, another offload from Attingano, and really he just put a kick in there. Then he just made a poor error, and it was more or less like an open goal that he put his hands down on there, and it made it quite easy. But I mean, we were talking about, obviously Ross Ainley, he'd done a massive spell before, 53, 55 minutes, whatever it was. And the difference is, you get the likes of Ronan Michaels who's coming on. You're getting Brendan Sandy that's doing good spells, and in between, really, they just looked a bit gassed when he was when he was coming on there. But Ronan Michael just looks fresh, and that's the difference today. That's been the difference with all these, and plus the defence has been absolutely outstanding.
As you mentioned, his first try in a night shirt this season. I think potentially overall for Jack Martin. I think he might be in on loan from somewhere. Someone might correct me. Batley 8, Widnes 12, Doncaster 6, Halifax 16, Featherstone 34, Barrow 14, Swinton 0, Wakefield 54. Drop down into League 1, as we mentioned. North Wales Crusaders 40, Cornwall 10, Oldham 44, Workington 0, Rochdale 26, Keighley 18. That battle for second place in League 1 is hot and up. I think it might just be done and dusted, because it is this afternoon. It's the final regular season game in League 1. But Williams adds on the extras. It is Haven 0, Knights 34, Pete.
Yeah, well, it's been the story of the game, isn't it? I mean, really, Whitehaven just done everything sort of singular. I mean, they haven't been as uniformed as what York have. I mean, we mentioned at the start of the day that York put it in a bit of form, and they haven't. Mark Albergarth will be wanting to keep that scoreboard as 0 for Whitehaven, just to make sure that their points difference is going to be a bit better. But as I say, Whitehaven can't let them get away from it.
Just pop back up into the Super League scores. London 16, Leeds 14. Score coming from the capital. Back underway here as Whitehaven attempt to go short. AJ Towles goes backwards off the hands of Towles. Carter jumps on him to complete the tackle. Williams is in a dummy half. Comes across then to Bailey. It is Connor Bailey. Newton and Castle involved in that tackle. Jubb's in at dummy half. Towards the middle now with James Cunningham. Out the back to Ingano. Finds now Joe Law. Law's trying to get round Will Evans, and the ball is lost in the contact there with the Papua New Guinean, and it'll be Joe Brown to collect, but obviously he's going to be pulled back. Good hitting contact there from the Papua New Guinean, forcing the error.
Yeah, again, they just nearly got Whitehaven on the edges there again. If that pass had gone, maybe half a yard just in front of him rather than behind him, it could have been another score from there. But give Adeni Gebi give him his things there, because he probably stopped a certain try.
So we scrum down, heading through to Whitehaven, just over halfway. Sort of 5-6 metres into the night's half here. Be Hannigan to feed it. Newton is out the back, around about 5.5 minutes left as we make it. Newton comes left into the hands of Jay Carton, trying to run the ball up straight away. He's the former Barrow Raider. Put down onto his back is Carter, Williams and Michael involved in the tackle. Newton in there at dummy half. Now finds Hugh Worthington. Worthington tries to run it forward. Put down there is the Welshman. 30 metres out now. Newton in there at dummy half. Goes right into the hands of Lucas Castle. Castle shakes and shimmies with his feet and tries to trick the defence, but's taken down 20 metres out. Newton in there at dummy half once more. Goes right to Lachlan Hannigan. Hannigan offers it up, but there's nothing too much in support and has to take the line on himself. Sort of 15 metres out now of Whitehaven to the right hand side of the post, attacking the Kells end. Goes down. Initially Newton looked to go right, but comes back inside then to Ross Ainley in centre field. 5 and last. Newton in there at dummy half, options left and right. He's going to go right into the hands of Hannigan. Hannigan's going to put the kick towards the corner. Dean Gebby will try and knock it back. It's into the hands and it's going to be knocked forward, offside. Call what you want. I think he's going to be called offside there as Dean Gebby. I don't think he was expecting the kick to the corner and had actually gone ahead of the play there from Lachlan Hannigan.
Again, they were desperate to stop Whitehaven going over the line, and that's the that's the kind of stuff that you're going to need, as I say, if you come towards the playoffs. So they've put a thoroughly professional display up there today as York, and defensively they've been absolutely sound.
Stoppage in players. There's 2 balls on the field. Big Joe Law to play the ball when we do get back underway. 35 out from his own line, plays it now. Jubs in there at dummy half, comes back towards the middle with Ngannou, runs laterally before finding Nick Williams. And Connor Bailey, you can hear the shout of "oh no" coming in from Ollie Field there, because he was nearly through the line if that ball had come forward. Jubb goes left into the hands of Cunningham. Ngannou comes across to Ronan Michael, who had to dive forward for it, and it's actually lost it there. There's Ronan Michael and Lachlan Hannigan, and it's that man Hatu Ngannou who just fetches Hannigan down at the last minute. Gebby dives in at dummy half, Papua New Guinean. Spun round a few times. Michael's involved in that tackle. Comes left now into the hands. It's of Hugh Worthington. Newton in there at dummy half now. Comes out the back to Hannigan. Then finds Carter. Comes across over the top to Mac Walsh, and Walsh potentially, he knows he had to come back inside, otherwise he was going to end up being put in touch there, did the Toulouse Lawney. Tier in there at dummy half. It's a slicky pitch out there. Soft, no doubt, from the rain it's had over the last 10 days or so. 5 and last. Newton in there at dummy half, comes towards the middle with Carter. Carter looks to put the kick up in the air. Rio Corkill will look to ride the highest, and he does. Gets the offload away to Lachlan Hannigan. Can Whitehaven get over for the try? They can. They've got it down there. Lachlan Hannigan. Oh, he's reeled a knock on. He's reeled a knock on there. There's Kevin Muir, and there's not too many complaints from Whitehaven in the chocolate blue and gold, and the Knights defenders congratulate themselves for putting the pressure there on Lachlan Hannigan, and it'll be a final ball handover. Like you say, not too many complaints for those wearing white, Peter.
No, you could see that he from our position here, you could see that he sort of rolled over it on his stomach there, but it was a chance there. But you could see the desperation of the York City Knights, just trying to stop that try going over. But give them the due. As I've said it from before, they've done a thoroughly professional performance today on Whitehaven, even though they haven't been good with the ball in the second half. I mean, the defence has been absolutely fantastic.
Swinton 0, Wakefield 60 is now a full-time score. Leeds have retaken the lead down in the capital. Oldham now 56 and they're up against Workington. They're going to have a party at Boundary Park this evening. So it's going to be defeats for all 3 Cumbrian sides. However, it was Cumbria's men's sides, I should say. The Barrow Raiders ladies picked up the victory down at Featherstone in what was a midday kick-off down at Post Office Road. So Amanda Wilkinson's side will enjoy the bus trip back to West Cumbria. Still got a stoppage here, as it was initially at Rio Corker that was seeking some treatment. He hasn't realised that Whitehaven's still got a man down there through Mac Walsh, and he just pushes the physio away and he says, "I'll be alright for the final couple of minutes." Will Judd plays the ball. Williams dives in the dummy half. Ronan Michael's now on the man to fetch it forward. can't be put to the ground, can Ronan Michael. Got a call held at some point, he finally has now. Jubb's in there at dummy half. Comes, and it's going to be penalty for the Knights. And even Ross Amy's looking perplexed. I think the recreation ground's perplexed, because he said it seems to be arms in at the play of the ball 2 or 3 seconds after the ball had gone.
Yeah, he's had his arms in. You'd think, stop being so pedantic there. Just let it go towards the back end there. But as I say, in the final couple of minutes, it'll be York's turn now, just to put a bit more pressure on the Whitehaven line, and which way these two halfbacks have been going, I wouldn't put it behind them.
90 seconds as we make it, just under now, with ball in the hands of Joe Brown, the Knights full-back. He towels in there to dummy half. They are in the Whitehaven half. Goes left into hands then of Conor Bailey. Bailey's going to be taken down 38 metres or so out. Goes left into the middle with Cunningham. Cunningham takes it to the line, then finds Ngannou. Ngannou looks to step back inside once. Now finds Jack Martin. Jack Martin with the dummy. Not going to be taken there by the Whitehaven defence. McCarran, Newton and Castle all involved in that tackle. Knocking on the door for some more points here are the Knights. Comes right from dummy after Nico Williams. Nico Williams! He's got the ball down. Has a New Zealander. I think that'll be our final action of the afternoon, and it'll be the Kiwis hat-trick. Just 6 tries of the season for the season going into this one. He's going to end it with 9, is the former Whitehaven man. And it's now Haven 0, Knights 38.
Yeah, it was a good play towards the back end there. Nico Williams, he just saw the tiring Whitehaven defence just come back, and he just run round the big prop. I don't know who it was at the time there, but as I say, he just turned him inside out and managed to get the ball put down. And I think he's just going to finish off now and kick the goal. And as I say, it's been a thoroughly professional performance from York today. So they've done really well. But as I keep saying about them, their defence has been absolutely outstanding, and that's what's won them today. And they always say, defence wins games, and it did on this occasion.
I'm bang on with the stopwatch. It's about the only thing I've been bang on with, or seen Whitehaven bang on with all day here at the recreation ground. It's been a struggle for Whitehaven out there this afternoon against a very, very good and disciplined York Knights side. And they might not have been best with ball in hand in the second half. And it's going to be Will Jubb with the opportunity to add the extras on. And I don't know whether it's a special appearance or anything for Will Jubb, but he's going to try and let them add the extras here in the final seconds for the Knights hooker. And he knocks it over to the 2 points, does Will Jubb. It's finished here at the recreation ground. It's Whitehaven 0, York Knights 34. 20 points in the first half, Pete. 20 points in the second half for the visitors. To be fair, for an awful lot of that second half, it didn't look like we'd get anywhere near 20 points.
No, not really. I mean, as I say, they were a bit poor with the ball with York in the second half, but they've done all the hard work. All the hard work had been done. As I keep mentioning about their defence, they've done really well with that, and forced Whitehaven into doing things that they wouldn't normally do. But as I say, the winning run comes to an end, as it was with 2 wins. But as I say, this league that they're playing in is absolutely brutal, and this is what it does for them. And York's defence have been brutal today. So they've done a job on Whitehaven today.